If you have a list of keywords but have no idea how to turn them into content that ranks, then watch this. I'm going to show you the exact beginner-friendly method I use to go from one keyword to a fully ranking article in under 20 minutes. Also, if you haven't already, download mySEO.app. We have a community section in there. We have weekly live streams with SEO professionals. So if you are ever struggling with SEO or you want to ask a few other people for advice, download the app. It's completely free to use. Now, typically speaking, a lot of SEOs, they end up doing keyword research using a tool like Ahrefs or SEMrush. Then they will export their list of keywords or their list of pages that they actually want to go after with keywords, relevance, search volume. They might even also include keyword difficulty. However, this is a little bit of an older way of doing and crafting actual content that ranks. Now, the issue that you have with an example like this is that there's always going to be keyword cannibalisation. Like, should you have a dedicated page for free e-card, then free birthday e-card? Because in some cases, that's actually going to be a little bit of an overlap, and you actually just need the one page to rank for multiple keywords. Now, if we actually take a look at some of these keywords, like for example, free e-card, and if we take a look at not the sponsored posts, so we'll just hide the sponsored, but if we take a look at the organic pages that are actually ranking, we've got like Moonpig, we have OpenMe, we have 123 Greetings, we have ecards.co.uk. And if we take a look at free birthday e-cards, we can see that moonpig.com is ranking for both variations, which basically tells us that we don't need to open up multiple pages. We don't need to create multiple pages. Google actually prefers to have the one page ranking for both variations. This is a prime example of what people say when they say that Google no longer ranks keywords. It actually ranks topics now. So here's an actual visual, right? If we were going to be doing the old method where we have a separate page for every tiny keyword, so free e-card, free birthday e-card, free thank you e-card, free thank you e-card, all of these different actual tiny small pages, we would end up with what's called authority dilution. So it confuses search engines and it splits your rankings into potential multiple pages. So there's not really much topical or domain authority because, again, you're opening up way too many pages. Google doesn't know what you're actually speaking about. However, if we were to combine similar keywords into one strong page, so for example, free e-cards, free birthday e-cards, free thank you e-cards, Google sees these as variations of the main keyword, which is free e-cards, and free birthday e-cards as one topic. A single article can rank for thousands of phrases. That's what we should be aiming for. Once you actually have a dedicated page like this where it's fully set up, that's when you get rewarded for ranking for all the related keywords. And as you can see here, a comprehensive page earns more trust and is ranked higher by Google. So if we actually take a look at how Moonpig has structured their page, right, they've actually got like filters. So what they've actually ended up doing is they've got free birthday e-cards, free graduation e-cards, and all of these actually go into more detail. So if we take a look here, we've got like birthday e-cards, we've got for her, but these aren't actually dedicated pages. As you can see, these are just what's called filters. So in some cases, you can actually structure your page this way and it will end up ranking for all of the actual phrases. Same goes with this, right? So we've got emergency plumbers, and as you can see, we've got a load of websites here. And if we search 24/7 plumbers, and as you can see, it's a very similar set of results, meaning that you don't need to actually have two pages, one for 27-hour plumbers, and then one for emergency plumbers, and one for emergency plumbers near me. You may as well just concatenate that into the one page. So if you have a list of keywords, the first step that we would want to do is figure out which websites and which web pages are actually ranking for those keywords. So for example, I have got 3 different Ahrefs tabs open. You can also do this manually by just Googling the keyword, but this is a little bit more visual. It's a little bit easier for you guys to follow along. So if I search cheap gaming chairs in the Keyword Explorer, and if I look at the top 10 ranking results, and if I do the same thing for budget gaming chair, and again go to the top 10 ranking results, and the last keyword is affordable gaming chair, right? And if I go to the list of 10 results, you'll see that a lot of the results here are very, very similar. Like we've got Amazon, we've got Argos, we have Currys, The Range, Xrocker, we have eBay, DIY, Razer.com, IKEA, and then Secret Lab. And again, if we take a look at these results, so we've got Currys that's ranking again, we have Amazon that's ranking again, we have Argos that's ranking again. So that's 3 results that are the same there. Then we have, for affordable chairs, we've got we have Currys, we have GT Omega, we have Amazon, we have Argos. So again, that's 5 results, including Xrocker right down at the bottom. So you can see that there's a lot of results, that there's a lot of overlap. So that basically tells us that these 3 keywords, even though they are different keywords, which is budget gaming chair, cheap gaming chair, and affordable gaming chair, those are basically the same page. Also, if you were going to manually do this, it would literally just be a very easy Google search. So you would basically go down to the top 10 ranking results and then take a look and see which websites are actually there. Just with Ahrefs, it just gives you a much better holistic approach, so you can just see it. You can quickly tab in and out of different search results very quickly. But if you don't have Ahrefs, you can still follow along. So now that we know which keywords or which groups of keywords belong together, the next step would be to actually write the article. Now, there's a lot of different ways that you can do this. There's a lot of different tools that you can do this. I'm going to show you the free way that you can basically create semantic SEO content that actually does rank. You will need this sheet. If you haven't already got the sheet, the link will be down below. Just enter your email on the actual website. You'll get a copy of this. Just make certain to click on file and make a copy so you can actually use this for yourself. There are a lot of different tabs in this. So the tab that we're going to be looking at is what's called content prompts. So this will basically rewrite any articles, or it will also create an article from scratch as well. So all I have done here is I've used the content brief optimizer. So this is going to be the first step, especially if we do not have an article already. If you already have an article, you might want to skip the content brief optimizer, because again, you don't need to completely redo your article from scratch. You can use like the entity centric rewrite prompt. These are all prompts that you can basically copy into ChatGPT. Like what I've done here is I've said the 3 keywords, so cheap gaming chair, budget gaming chair, and affordable gaming chair. Then I've just pasted in that prompt. The prompt itself is generate a content brief with semantically relevant H2s and H3s. Each subheading should represent a distinct user intent or entity related to the main keyword. Include a short summary and key terms to include under each. And as you can see here, it's written as a primary goal. You might want to change this primary goal, especially if, say, for example, you are an e-commerce store. This might be a little bit different. Or if you are more of a affiliate website, like, for example, IGN, the goal for this wouldn't be necessarily to buy a gaming chair. It would more so be to actually click on the actual prices. So the goal can slightly differ from website to website. Like if you were using this prompt for a local business, for example, your primary goal would be you want people to fill in your contact form, you want people to phone you, etc. So then we've got all of our headings as well. So what counts as a budget gaming chair, benefits of choosing affordable gaming chairs, key features to look at for a budget gaming chair. So we've got ergonomics, back support, etc. Then we've got the best cheap gaming chairs. So it's worked in all of our variation of keywords. It's also telling us which key terms to actually have in this. Now, what you can do from this step onwards is you can either write this article yourself, you can either use it on like tools like SERP for SEO, or we can use another one of our prompts here to actually rewrite it. So I'm going to do the entity-centric rewrite, and I'm going to paste it into here, and this is going to rewrite the actual article. So this is our fully written article here. So it's talking about all of the adjustability options, the build quality, materials, ergonomics, key features, literally everything to do with budget and affordable chairs. It's also mentioning some big brands as well. So for example, with the entity-centric rewrite, what it allows us to do is it will actually use entities to do with brands, for example. So for example, we've mentioned here Amazon UK, Argos, Currys, IKEA. These are all brands that basically sell budget / affordable gaming chairs. Further down in the article, we are also mentioning some more brands as well, like GT Player, X-Rocker. These were all websites that were also ranking for that keyword, which is a very good start. Now, the good thing about this actual sheet is you can actually pick and choose whichever one of these prompts that you want, or we've also got the semantic rewrite prompt as well. So if you want to include like all 9, you can actually just copy this entire thing and then paste it into here, and basically this will give you an entire article that is written for your actual audience. So this is the entire article here. So we've got the complete expert guide to cheap, budget and affordable gaming chairs. Then we've got what counts as a budget gaming chair. We've got our cheap gaming chairs good for your back. Then we've got key features to look for. So we're talking about ergonomics, build quality, adjustability options. Then we've got best budget gaming chairs by use case. So we've got for small rooms, for tall or heavy gamers, for long gaming sessions, for console gaming, cheap versus expensive gaming chairs. Now, the good thing about this prompt is it also allows you to actually internal link to other pages, right? So going back to what we were saying before, right? Cheap, budget, and affordable gaming chairs, that's one page. But what you can also do as well is you can also create a dedicated page for expensive gaming chairs or more luxury gaming chairs. And this would be a prime opportunity to actually internally link to that page. So for example, we could internally link to premium gaming chairs using that as our internal link anchor. What you can also do as well is if you actually scan through this article, you'll find other internal linking opportunities. So for example, we've got a PU leather gaming chair, and as you can see here, Amazon's got its own dedicated page. Noblechairs.co.uk has its own dedicated page. These guys, they also have their own dedicated page for that as well. So we can always have or scan through our content to try and find other relevant pages that we actually need to have on our website as well. And if we take a look at the actual article that we've just prompted to use, now all I've done is I've basically just copied it from Word doc to phrase. Now I'm not a big fan of SEO content writing tools because in a lot of cases what ends up happening with content writing tools is you end up getting like a list of keywords to include or entities to include throughout your content, and typically when you give this piece or this actual content writing tool to a writer, what ends up happening is they end up just including these keywords as and when, and they're just ultimately trying to get the highest score. Now, typically speaking, what ends up happening is you just end up getting a article that might not necessarily make sense when you're using certain entities. Whereas when you actually prompt using ChatGPT, for example, to actually write the article, it actually uses it as and when it makes sense to. So for example, all of these articles or all of these sentences, when we're actually reading through it, it's actually very natural. It's included all of the entities in a very natural way, meaning that we actually have got a very good content score as well. So if we actually take a look at our competitors here, your document ranks number 3 out of 17. So the average topic score is 48. Ours is 88% complete. Now, obviously, we could spend a few more hours or a few more minutes rewriting this actual article to try and get it to rank higher. But again, when I'm positioned 3 out of 17, I'm happy with that. We can obviously spend some more time on it, but for out of the box content, for maybe prompting it for like 15 minutes or so, we've been able to achieve a very good score straight off the bat. That has been my video on how to write semantic SEO content. There's obviously, I could probably do like a 40-minute video on this if you guys really want me to. But for a beginner that's just going after keywords, this is a very good and proven strategy to actually help you rank higher when it comes to Google. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please remember to leave a like. If you want to download the app, make certain to go to myseo.app. Or if you want to work with me, head over to kasra.com, fill in the contact form, and I will be in touch. Thanks for watching.